Okay, no matter what you do, go to that health fair. Well, many doctors recommend a daily multivitamin to their patients. Some dietitians say there's just not enough evidence they'll do that much good.
Multivitamins are not going to help you extend your life or fight heart disease or fight cancer.
Still, it's estimated that about half of us are deficient in vitamin D. It's a nutrient that can be difficult to get enough of in food or through sunlight. The newest studies show vitamin D use is up among men and women, and 61% of women over age 60 take calcium supplements.
Calcium is a big one. SUP 9 Health reporter Dr. John Torres is joining us. This debate rages in our newsroom, and we've just discovered
and
this.
And
out here. We've just discovered this new device. What is this thing? That's
that's this. We're going to do right, we're going to save it. It's very complicated, but we're going to talk about
I want to know about this.
Because I've got two things that make it interesting to me, but go ahead. We're going to talk vitamins. I don't get it all right.
The question is, and there are two sides to this question, but you as a physician think that taking supplements is not a bad idea.
And not necessarily taking supplements, taking a multivitamin. And the difference there is the multivitamin has lower doses of the different vitamins versus a supplement that has mega doses. I'm not necessarily a believer in mega doses, but the one thing I will say, which I agree with the nutritionist, is you do not want to use that as a substitute for poor diets or just not having a good lifestyle, not exercising, and doing things like smoking. That's not going to cure any of that. There is some research out showing that some vitamins, especially vitamin D, might help with cancers, might help with heart disease. The story's not completely out. It's always better if you get the fruits and vegetables themselves, because not only are you getting the vitamins, you're getting things like lycopenes, fiber, all sorts of things you don't get with just a vitamin pill. But I'm a big advocate in saying, take a multivitamin a day for most people, because it doesn't hurt you. It might actually help you in the long run, and the whole story's not out yet.
So there are some people that have like 12 of them lined up. You're saying you don't necessarily need to do that, which is good news, but you can take too much of something, right?
Right, you can take too much. Some of these are fat soluble, which means that you get them in your body and they stay inside your body and they can affect you more. Others are water soluble, which they go right through you and you end up urinating those out. So it depends on the vitamin and how much you take, and some can cause anything from GI problems to worse conditions. Ooh. So again, you want to be careful. The big ones are probably calcium, especially for women for their bones, vitamin D, and folic acid. Those are probably the three big ones I'd look at.
How about folic acid for women?
Yeah, you always hear that, take it just when you're pregnant or going to get pregnant.
Right. The new recommendation is to actually take it if you're of childbearing age all the time, because you're not sure when you're going to get pregnant. And the important thing behind folic acid is it's necessary for brain and central nervous system development. That happens in the first 2 to 4 weeks of a pregnancy. You don't even know you're pregnant for the first 2 or 4 weeks. So by the time you find out you're pregnant and start taking the folic acid, you're already behind the curve. And so you want to make sure that that baby is protected. So start taking folic acid all the time, and that's why a lot of foods are supplemented with it. But sometimes it's not enough. You need to take a little bit more.
How do you feel about fish oil?
I think fish oil is great too. For certain people, again, for young, active people that might end up hitting their head in something, you don't want to take fish oil because it can cause excessive bleeding. In certain instances, it does thin the blood to a certain extent.
Yikes.
But for those that aren't as active and maybe later in life, sorry, Mark.
Yeah.
Fish oil is probably a good thing.
My doctor loves that. What I told Kim, my secret is you freeze it.
Because then you don't
the breath.
taste it.
You're not constantly burping fish oil, which is a negative.
Oh, so, you said it. How about niacin? Niacin, do we need to take?
That's another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one too. Like I said, there's a lot of good vitamins out there. A lot of them we get in our foods. If you look at the breads and different things, are fortified with these things. And again, that's why I think a multivitamin comes into play, because it has small amounts of these. You don't really need much more than that based on our diets. Yeah. But our diets do tend to be deficient. Like you said, vitamin D, a lot of us are deficient in vitamin D just naturally.
We're hearing all about the vitamin D drama right now, as you know. Kirk is really, he's trying to get more sun. And
there you go.
Well, maybe if he didn't stay out late every night, he might know.
Yeah, he's up mostly at night instead of during the day. He's all excited about this.
He's working with you on that, I know.
Right, we're working
today
on
he didn't see you right away, and the one time you were in the building, he's like, "Where's Dr. John? Where's Dr. John?"
We're working on the vitamin D, and we'll get that level up.
I think you should just find your own corner and not bump into him for a while. You could also see Dr. John's advice, since Kirk tries to monopolize all of his time again, by going to the health section of 9news.com.
It's like Dr. John is like, for Kirk, is like having his own doctor in-house. Poor Dr. John.
He emails the rest of them. He knows, he has personal emails. Yeah,
I know.
It's crazy.
Dr. John's email never stops. Thanks, Dr. John.
You bet.